The thing about pro sports is nothing lasts forever. We know that. We've seen it here in this market alone. Joe Montana got traded, for crying out loud. Jerry Rice moved on and played across the bay with the Oakland Raiders. All right, it was weird to see Jerry Rice in a different uniform. It was weird to see Ronnie Lott in a different uniform. The Giants, look, to your point about last year, and I've heard this before, about not becoming the San Francisco Giants with the Brandons and with Posey and keeping guys a little too long here, re-signing guys like DeSclafani or whatnot. Joe Lacob, I know he's an owner who wants to win. And I know Joe Lacob, look, he's emotionally attached to this core group, and how could you not? They've helped you win 4 championships. They helped you win 4 championships. They're statue guys. You know, they're going to have their jerseys in the rafters. There's no doubt about that. They'll be retired, 11 to be retired, 23 to be retired, 30 to be retired. But at some point, even when it comes to Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney, for that matter, you got to have an uncomfortable conversation. Whether it's the rotation, whether it's starting, or whether it's moving on if you can't handle coming off the bench or having a reduced role. Right now is not the time to be, the mentals, you got to check yourself. As a player, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what is best for the basketball team? If the coach comes to me saying, hey, I need to play less minutes, then so be it. So be it. We're trying to win basketball games. We're not trying to waste the window of Stephen Curry. We have a premium player, a guy who's playing in top 5 basketball as an individual, but he needs help. If these guys can provide the help, and I'm talking about Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson and Kevon Looney, then we got to find solutions here. And I'm open to anything. I've said that all season long. Now's the time to be open-minded to everything. Now, Klay Thompson took a massive step back yesterday. Massive step back. It was not good. Andrew Wiggins just hasn't been good all season. What's the deal with that? He's the guy who we deemed as the most important player of the Warriors season.
I mean, Wiggins has been on a milk carton.
And that's a problem. That's a problem. He's the guy who's supposed to take Klay Thompson's place. Paul Pierce said it yesterday. Here's Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce on Klay struggling since the injuries.
So Klay Thompson was a great two-way player.
Yeah.
And I thought at first his defense was ahead of his scoring. Then he became a dynamic scorer who could still defend. Wiggins, I'm not calling him that dynamic scorer, but he was definitely supposed to step in and take the burden of whoever's the best guard of the night. If they playing Luka, Klay, go play somebody else. Wiggins will take Luka, right? All the tough matchups.
Yeah.
And he hasn't panned out, P.
Dealing with the injuries, the miles, all that he's been through. That's why they brought a Wiggins in. But Wiggins ain't took that challenge to where I need to be the second in charge behind Curry, to where Wiggins should be out there giving you 20, 25 a night at this stage, because he's young legs. He's still athletic. He ain't got the same miles as these other guys, and he ain't stepped up.
He hasn't stepped up. And then you get Festus Ezeli last night on the postgame show. Here's what Festus Ezeli had to say about the importance of Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins for the Golden State Warriors is a key piece because he's a guy that can defend the best player on the other team. He's probably the next best playmaker behind Steph Curry in terms of ability. He's one of the best players that can come off the dribble, can get to the rim, and with that, you can also create shots for other guys. That's why you need Andrew Wiggins to get going, because when he gets going, then he can do that for other guys. So right now, off to a slow start this season, but I think the Warriors, they're going to be fine. If you have a game like this where Andrew Wiggins has 9 points and the Warriors are able to get a win, I think as the team gets to continue to build the chemistry, he'll get better, the team will get better together. I just want to see Andrew Wiggins get back to that Andrew Wiggins of the finals, where he's rebounding, getting 9 rebounds a game, scoring about 17 points for this team. Then the Warriors will really be cooking then.
He's a 19-point-per-game career scorer. To me, you look at the top 6 veteran players, Andrew Wiggins is the one player, in my mind, that has the advantage athletically. He's in the prime of his career, so the Warriors really need him to get back to what he was if they want to make a deep run moving forward.
So can he get back to that point? Can he get back? And I think the reason why fans are becoming impatient with Andrew Wiggins is because of what happened last season. He missed 2 months of the season, and I hope everything is well with his personal life. I love Andrew Wiggins. I love his personality. I love who he is as a person, as a human being. I love what he does for the entire country, Canada. But this is a performance business. And when you get the contract extension, the 4-year deal worth $109 million, You have to become consistent. And it just hasn't been the case. It hasn't been the case whatsoever. Can you get that from him? Can he become that guy again? I don't know. I just don't know. We know who Clay is. Clay's going to struggle, and Clay may have to take some minutes, or he may have to come off the bench at some point. I don't really care. At this point, I don't really care.
Well,
because what I saw last night, Shasky, was infuriating.
I know, but like the reality is the double whammy of Clay having one of his worst seasons ever, like statistically, just across the board, and Wiggins having his worst season statistically across the board through 20 games simultaneously. They almost can't overcome it. They almost can't. Like, that's where they're at right now. And so something's got to give. And when I watch the young players play, like Moody and Kuminga and Podziemski, are they solutions? No. But are they more helpful right now than what we've seen from the other two guys? It feels like it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it really feels like it. I mean, we can't keep ignoring it. We're 20 games in. Things can change. Things can flip. Guys can go on runs. You can have a hot month and totally change everything. But right now, first quarter of the season, Wiggins and Clay are having career lows essentially across the board.
And the crazy part is Clay's actually not shooting as much as he did last season. His attempts are down all across the board, whether it's threes and field goals. So he's shooting the ball less. And it still just doesn't look good because he can't move the way he used to move. He just can't. He can't. You know, he used to play like Rip Hamilton, coming off multiple screens, and just he was so dynamic coming off the screens. And now there's a lot of standing around in the motion offense.
I was going to say, when was the last time he had a wide open corner three?
Yeah, it's been a while. Teams, that's the thing. He's so guardable now.
I know.
That he doesn't have space to shoot it. So now, even in the fourth quarter, he took some horrendous shots.
He hit a big one, right?
Out of a timeout.
Yes,
hit a big one.
He hit
thought,
a big one.
Maybe that'll get him going. And then he missed two that just didn't look pretty.
Well, he caught one near the sideline, and it was a classic, I'm going to throw this up, and everyone's like, whoa. It's like 20 seconds on the shot clock. What are you doing?
I know.
And those are the ones where, like, you could throw all the stats at me. It's like, what are you doing? And then finally he went back door and or right down the middle of the lane and got a beautiful little pass from Draymond Green.
Yep.
And I think his other bucket in the first half was a backdoor cut as well. So when he moves even just a little, his shots are better. Problem is he can't move like he used to your point.
He can't.
And then Andrew Wiggins is just, I don't even know. Like this thing, and I listen to Festus, second best play. He's not your second best playmaker. He's your most athletic regular player, that if I throw Kuminga off to the side, but he needs to get buckets where he's going downhill. He needs others to help him.
But I think what Festus was saying, though, is like he can be your two-way guy, your second best player. He can make plays for himself in the half court. He's a bucket getter when he's right. He's just saying right now.
Well,
so I think that's what Festus was saying. But he's a bucket getter. He could go out there when the defense bogs down or when the offense bogs down. Hey, Wiggins, we need a bucket. Do your work at the half court. Little step back, elbow jumper. Even that's not hitting. So right now he's not the second best player. But I think Festus's point and Mully's point, and I think all of our points, is you need Andrew Wiggins from a couple years ago if you're going to make a run. And right now you're not that guy. And so we got to find solutions.
He's shooting 26%
from three. Oh, I know. Now,
I mean, that's like you're in the Westbrook zone.
Listen.
I'm so upset.
I'll dress it up. Entering last night, I'll dress it up for Andrew Wiggins.
I love you so much.
No, seriously, because it does matter. Last 6 games prior to last night, he was shooting 40% from three.
Okay, it's a lot better.
He had the big game against Sacramento.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
It is a lot better. He had the game where he hit 5 threes in a game against Oklahoma City when he entered that game 5-37 from three. Well, he hit 5 threes in that overtime loss against OKC. So it felt like, going in, and that's the thing with Andrew Wiggins. He had the adductor strain, right? He's playing the best basketball. I thought it was a carryover from the NBA Finals. He was playing some tremendous basketball to start the season. Then he suffers the adductor strain, right? He suffers that. Then he gets sick. He comes back. He's trying to figure it out. And before he missed 2 months of the season, he had a damn good game against the LA Clippers. Remember that? Like, wow. Okay, cool. Right before the All-Star break. There you go, Wiggs.
I mean, that was almost a year ago.
It was last season.
All-Star break was in February.
Yeah, I know, but it was last season. And he didn't miss 2 months. And then he came back, and it was just like, well, what do you expect from him when he's missed 2 months?
Well, we all agree. But I expected him to be ready to roll this year.
Yeah, and we all did. Now, Anthony Slater told us last week that, the rib injury really limited his offseason work. I don't know. But I just telling you right now, he looks different. He looks a little more frail. He doesn't look as strong as he was a couple years ago, even last year. I don't know. at a small forward spot where your guard dude 6'8", 215, 220, 230, 240. I mean, this is a guy who you could stick on LeBron James, for crying out loud. Now, I don't even know if he can do that. I don't know if he can do that. So that's an issue here with Andrew Wiggins. He's got to become consistent, and if he's not consistent, his team has no shot.
I just look at it this way. If you did a fantasy draft, like a simulation on a video game, and you got Steph Curry, and then your second best player was Draymond Green, that's not good enough to win a championship.
No.
Right? We all love Draymond Green, but like you just do it in your head. If you're the other team, it's Steph and Dre and what? And what? Role players?
I don't know.
That's not good enough.
No, it's not good enough at all.
Like it's just I think that they're, in the words of Elvis, they're caught in a trap. Can't go back.
That's
like the only way to get out of this is they got to make a move. I feel like.
Yeah, because as a great Yogi Berra said, and Chris Muller loves this, it gets early late. It gets early late out there,
especially in December.